So let's get started on making this 3 to 6 month crocheted hexagon baby cardigan. So the things that you will need is yarn, obviously. The yarn that I am using is some of the Christmas acrylic, which was limited edition from Hobby last year. You can still get regular acrylic like this. It's just the everyday acrylic. This is a 3-weight acrylic yarn, 100% acrylic, and it says use a 5mm hook, but we're not going to use a 5mm hook. We're going to use a different one. And the other yarn that I have is the Mega Ball We Love Yarn, also by Hobby. This is also, actually wait, no, this is a 4. So we're pairing 2 different sizes, but the 2 different sizes, they don't really matter. Not for this project, at least. It's just a nice lemon yellow that I have on hand. So that's what we're working with yarn. We are going to be using a 5.5mm crochet hook. We've got our test tube of all different kinds of sewing needles and tapestry needles. We have a very rainbow pair of scissors, and we have a ball of measuring tape. That's all you need. Let's jump in. All right, so you can start with either the yellow or the cream or any color that you want to. I am starting with the white one for this particular one. So we're starting with a magic ring. It's everybody's favorite. And I recently learned how to make it a little bit more sturdy. So you're going to wrap it around your fingers once and then twice, like that. Grab your hook, put it between your fingers, grab it, twist, under, grab it, and twist. Seems easy, right? I make it look easy. Don't worry, it took me a while to learn how to make a magic ring. Feel free to go back and watch that a few times. So, from there, let me remind myself of how to do this. So I'm just gonna pull up a loop. So the way that I do mine is I'm going to use standing double crochets. Am I using double crochets? I am using double crochets. Standing double crochets when it comes to, so I'm not going to chain 3. You can chain 3 if you're a beginner. So you chain 1, you chain 2, you chain 3, just like that. I'm going to use a standing double crochet, which means, so you pull your loop up long, hold it tight with your finger, wrap your yarn around, go into your magic circle, grab the hook, grab the yarn, and pull it up. From there, you want to grab your yarn again and pull through that. And remember, you're still holding that your finger hasn't moved. So it still gives you that 2 loops. And then you just pull through that. It can make that first one a little bit loose, but that's okay. We want things to be a little bit loose for this. I'm actually going to zoom in real quick. There we go. That'll help. There we are. So from there, we've just done a standing stitch, or if you're a beginner, you've done 3 chains. It's up to you which you want to do. You want to make 2 more double crochets. So that's 1 and 2. Then you want to chain 2. 1, 2. Then you want to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 again. So just in case you are a complete beginner, to make a double crochet, yarn over, go inside your circle, grab your yarn. Let me pull this back a little bit so that you can see. Then you have 3 on your hook. You want to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2. That's how you make a double crochet. Do that 2 more times. 1 and 2. And then your last one there. 1 and 2. Just like that. So you want to do that until you have 6 clusters of 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. You want 3 more. All right, so you've got all 6. You want to chain 2. Or actually, in my case, so you can chain 2 and join with a slip stitch, but I am not going to personally do that. So I'm chaining 1, and then I'm grabbing my tail. I'm going to pull that and find out which of these 2 is going to tighten first. So for me, that's that front one. You want to grab that and pull to make the other one tight first. And then grab your tail and pull that one tight as well. That's going to secure your magic loop a little bit nicer. See how that's nice and tight? It's not gonna come apart. So I chained 1, and then into the top of that standing stitch, I come here, into the top of this standing stitch, I'm going to insert my hook into both sides of that stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet. Just like that. Okay, from here, we're going to do another standing double crochet. Or you can do a chain 3 if you're a beginner and you don't want to do the standing double crochets. So pull your loop up long, hold it tight. I don't think I did that long enough. There we go. Do that. Loop it round. And then you go into that space that you just created using the buffering single crochet. Yarn over, pull that through. Then you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through those 2. Pull that loop up, yarn over and pull through those 2. And then you're going to make 2 more double crochets in this same space. So that's 1 and then 2. Okay, so here you're not going to chain. You're just going to go straight into this next space and make 3 more double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have our 2 clusters. here is where you will chain 2, is you're making a corner. And then into that same space that you just put those 3 in, you're going to make another 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Okay, so in each corner, you've got corner here, this space. Each of these big spaces is a corner. So each of these spaces, you want to do 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. All the way around until the end, and I'll meet you there. All right, we have come to the end of this round. So you want to put 3 double crochets in that very first space that you started with. So that's 1, 2, 3. Chain 1. But what you want to do is you want to prepare for the color change. This is where we're going to bring in the yellow. So we go into this top of the standing stitch, or the third chain of your chain 3. And instead of grabbing this white yarn, you're going to grab the yellow yarn. And you're going to grab that. Hold that tight. And pull that through. Actually, you know what? No, you're going to ignore me, is what you're going to do. You are going to go through that top stitch. You are going to grab that white yarn. And you're going to pull that through. But you're not going to finish the single crochet. You're not going to finish it with the white yarn. Then you bring in your yellow yarn and pull that through. Because that makes sure that this round ends in white and the new round starts in yellow. Okay, so what you want to do from here is you need to make sure that you're holding the tail of that yellow and the working white yarn. You want to hold them tight. You want to keep this section very, very tight. Okay, so you pull up this loop of the yellow. Oh my god. That is a big ass fly. Take yourself back out that window. Anyways, that was my ears. Come on. Right. Hold the yellow tail and the white working yarn tight. You don't want to lose this. You don't want to lose the single crochet. Pull up the yellow yarn to make a standing double crochet. Hold that tight as well. Twist around. Put it inside the space. Pull up another loop. Pull through both of those. Grab some more and pull through those last 2. Okay, so we are continuing from there. 2 more double crochets into this same space. So that's 1 and that's 2. So the fact that you've also then done it over that space, you're also crocheting over the top of that tail and the white working yarn. And that secures them in place. You can drop the tail and the white working yarn now. You can drop that and just continue as normal. So you now have a corner, a space, and a corner. So from there, you're doing 3 double crochets, and then in your corner, you're doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So we'll do this first side together. 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3. Let me drag out some more of this yarn here. Get off my hand. Okay. And then you're doing another 3 double crochets in this next space. It's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. So that is your first side and your first corner. You're going to continue that all the way along, and I will meet you there at the end. All right, we have made the third round. So we have this last 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then into the top of this standing stitch, both sides, like that. Pull through. Now we're going back to the white for this round, for this next one. So grab your working, hold that tight, and then you want to pull the white through here so that you can continue onto the 4th row. Make sure you don't pull that too tight on the back. So here, you don't want to pull that too tight and end up warping your work, because we're just going to carry that behind there. So make sure that you hold that. Chain 3 or pull up for your standing stitch. Twist around into that space. Grab the yarn. Pull up, you've got 3 on your hook. And just the same as the last 2 rows. 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the corner. And continue that all the way around to the end, and I will meet you at the end. All right, so we have a tiny little snowflake here. So this is our little hexagon. We are going to do 2 more rows of yellow. So if you see in the middle, we've done 2 rows of white, 1 yellow, 1 white. We're then going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to do it with 2 rows of yellow. So that's our next step. So pick up your work. We have our unfinished single crochet here. And we have our yellow that is still attached to our work on the back. We're going to bring that up. Remember to hold the white secure. I just realized, so I took that out of the screen. So we're carrying the yarn between the single rows. So we carried the white yarn. We're about to do the same with the yellow here. So we're holding the white tight. And to secure the white, I like to go underneath it and then grab the yellow, just to help make that secure just a little bit stronger, like that. So as usual, pull up, twist around, go inside, and then you've got 2 on your hook, pull through, and then pull through again. So we're going to do that again. Another 2 double crochets. Now it's the same as the previous 2 rows. You're just going to do the exact same pattern for 2 rows. But remember that at the end of the first yellow row, to make sure that you're carrying the white. I'll show you how to do that at the end of this row. I'll see you at the end. All right, you have come to the end of the first of the yellow rows, or rounds rather, and you're getting ready to join. So you have the top of your standing stitch. You want to go in there and you want to do your single crochet as usual, but you're not changing on this one. So what you want to do, make sure that you've got your white yarn, and you're going to go over the top of that. So you want to hold that at that space. So pull up. So see how I'm holding that just there? Hold that with your finger just to keep it in place. Pull up, rotate around, go inside that space. And you can lay it over your hook if it helps. That's what I'm going to do. Laying it over my hook. But I'm not going to pull that white yarn through. I'm just laying it over so I can pull through the yellow and lock that in place. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through that final 2. There we go. And then continue your round as normal. I will see you at the very end. All right, so from here you have your 2 yellows. So you start with 2 white, single row of yellow, white, and then 2 yellow again. So you're going to go and continue this for another 4 rows. So you're going to then do the opposite. So you started with 2 whites. You've now starting with 2 yellows. So you're going to go white, yellow, and then 2 white. That's your next 4 rows. And you're doing the exact same pattern. So let's get into that. So you've chained 1. You're going into the top of that standing stitch. And this time you are going to crochet over the top of that white yarn. So bring that up to make your single crochet. And then you're going to pick up the white. So you're going on the other side of that yellow to secure that as well. And go like that. You can now drop the yellow. And hold that yellow tight. Pull up the white. Hold it secure. Twist around. Put that inside. Pull through. You've got 3 on your hook. Pull through. And then pull through those 2 there. So you've started your next white row. See you at the end for the yellow row. All right, so we are preparing for our last yellow row. For the 3 to 6 month, you really don't need that much when it comes to these. So this is what we got. We've got another white row. We're doing 1 more yellow row, and then we have 2 more rows of white. So we have our unfinished single crochet, switch the yarns over, grab that yellow to lock in the white, hold that tight. I'm going to pull that up, wrap around inside that space, grab that, Alright, we have our next one. Continue on, and I'll see you at the white step. Alright, so we have that done. I am ready to start the next row, but before I do, I'm going to keep a hold of this yellow yarn, but I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to leave myself a decent little tail. Just cut it off there, and we can say goodbye to the yellow for now. I'm going to pull this up. Yes, pull it up, wrap around into that center section there. Pull through that, and pull through there. There we go. And now I can let go of that yellow yarn there. And I can do my final 2 rounds of white. I will see you at the end of the 2 rows. All right, so we have the very last 2 white rows done. Here, you want to chain 2, which I have done just here. And instead of doing a single crochet, you are going to slip stitch join. Wow. So into the top of that standing double crochet, and just like that, we are finished. So I'm going to do 1 extra slip stitch just to secure it, and then I'm going to chop off the white. So I'm going to leave maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Approximately 2 side lengths. I'm not measuring or anything. I probably should, but I'm not. All right, so from there, just pull that through and secure that tight. Let's bring that out here. So there we have our first hexagon. And in 3 seconds or so, we will have the second one. 3, 2, 1. We have our second hexagon. So now you just have to put these together. To do that, let me move this one out of the way. To do that, you take one of your sides and you bring it together like that. So you just fold it, and then it creates this L shape like this. So we do that again. You take your 2 sides, you fold them together just like that. From there, you're able to bring them together. Now, what you want to do here is make a join on this top side. So along here, you want to leave the front open, but you want to put a seam down the center. I like to use the mattress stitch. So that is what I will do. Oh, and also you'll want to weave in these longer tails and stuff as well. So yeah, I will come back once I have sewn these top sections. All right, so I'm going to quickly show you how to do the mattress stitch. You can see what I'm doing here. So from here, you go into your stitch like this, pull it through, and then you're going over and behind into your stitch that way. So it creates this kind of crisscross effect on the inside. And then you just pull it and it draws up that seam. All right, so from here, we're gonna sew up this back panel here. So I like to start this from the neck. Attach my yarn there. So I like to turn it inside out and start from the neck. We do have this extra tail, but we can weave that in after. So from here, you want to add in your stitches here, pull that through. Leave yourself a decent tail. Trying to remind myself which direction these go in. And then in here. Go back into that same first stitch and pull through just so that you can secure it better. Untangle. Just like that. There we go. And then continue alternately weaving it. All right, so we have the middle seam done. As you can see, we've got like a thumb width for the neck. The next step is doing the bottom border and then the neckline. So what we are going to do is, if I remember how to do this for a second, we need more of our cream yarn. So we are going to join in here, but we're going to join on the second chain of that corner. So stick your hook in there and we're going to join it just by pulling through . We'll try that again because my hands are shaking. Pops hates me. Okay, there we go. So we have it in, and from here we're going to make one single chain just to join it, pull it tight, and then all the way along all of these stitches we're just going to do some slip stitches all the way around. So all the way around the bottom and all the way up here as well. So all the way along the bottom and all the way up here. There's method to the madness. So go in and do slip stitches all the way along. And I will see you at the end. Okay, so we have done all the way around. We're back to the beginning. We have slip stitched all the way around. We are going to continue along the bottom, and along the bottom we're just going to do, wait, what did I do? I will tell you what I did when I use this as a reference. Get off. So we were using herringbone half double crochets to line the bottom. So that is exactly what we're going to do here. So to do a herringbone half double crochet, we just chain one, and then we're going to do a half double crochet. Make sure that you're doing it into the slip stitches that you just made. And then pull through all three. So from there, see this middle line that we have here? You want to put your hook in there. Okay, so pull through a loop there, come down here to your row of slip stitches, go inside your next slip stitch. Might be a little bit fiddly, a little bit tricky, but that's fine. Go in there. Going into the back loop of those. And then you've got 3 on your loop. Pull through all 3. And then you want to do that again. In that middle, go through the back loop of your slip stitch. And then pull through all 3. And you want to do that all the way along the bottom until you come to the first chain in your corner on this other side. And I'll meet you there. All right, so we have gone through the bottom. The next step from here is to do the neckline. So from here, we were doing like a mini tapestry. Tunisian, a mini Tunisian border here. So I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, so we want to, from here, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from there, you're skipping this first stitch and going in here. So into that stitch there, and then into the next, and you're pulling up a loop every single time. Pull up another loop, and then to join it, you want this bottom stitch of your half double crochet. You want to put your hook in there and draw up another loop, and that's how you're going to join your stitches. Bring this closer. So from here, you're yarning over and you're pulling through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. So that then completes your 4 stitches. Now to continue, come back in here, and these 2 here, you want to stick your hook through there and pull that up. And then in this one, like that. And then third one there. And then you're joining by putting your hook into, see your slip stitch there, into the back loop of that stitch and pull through. Then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your hook. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then your final 2. Like this.
Nice.
And then do it again. In these 2 sections. 3, 4, and into the back loop of that slip stitch. Make sure you're going in the back loop and you're not pulling up the things from behind it. And you've got 5 on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will meet you when we get up here. Up here. All right, so from here, we've now managed to do our Tunisian all the way up the side. If you see, we have the seam corners here. So from here, we're going to continue as normal. 1, 2, 3. But here, we're going to change it just slightly. So you've got these 2 slip stitches here. You want to, if you can, again, it's a little fiddly. I just had it. Can you go on the hook? There we go. Okay, so you've got 1, and then you're doing a second one. You're going to pull a loop up through both of those. Because we're doing a slight decrease on that corner. And then through 2, 2, 2, 2. Then again. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do another decrease here. So we're picking up both of those slip stitches, pulling through both. Let me pull through. There we go. And then continue as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. And then one more decrease here. So we're picking up both of these back loops of our slip stitches. And then pulling through both of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then continuing down this side like normal, all the way down to the bottom. I will meet you there. All right, here we are. We're sat at the end. We have our first 4 cast-ons, so we need our 5th one. So this is where it starts to look a little confusing, but we have our slip stitch just here. It's kind of hiding itself. So we want to get in there. Again, it's going to be a little tricky. Pull that through. 3, 4, and then here I'm gonna make another setup. This here, and then we want to go into the bottom of that chain 1 that we made at the very, very beginning of the bottom row. And then our last row, we're going to set up again. I think too much. And then we go into the very top of that half double crochet, pull through, 2, 3, 4, and from there we are finished. So I'm gonna cast this off. Where are my scissors? Just like that. Pull that tight, and we are going to weave that in. And there we have it. We have a cardigan completely finished. So we have the one trimmed in the white, and we have the yellow one as well.